arena with unnamed guerrilla leader.
Yeah.
And the soldiers kind of chanting and cheering still, just to kind of close out that moment. We've got that kind of what's happening down in the arena. And then from that point, we then
It's a good thing that he knew the speech was over. That's why
he was done. Yeah, he wanted to get to his car before he had event parking to get
Brent
out of.
said, all right, you're good.
All I could think of is that if Orson Welles had shot this, we would have had the guerrilla leader like in the lowest angle shot. With his arm up, and they would, but instead we get an interesting
back shot.
You're at least seeing that it's a big crowder there.
So once again, well shot. We get the idea that he's in power. He's the one with his fist up. They're all cheering.
I would have taken that shot just specifically because he's trying to show the effort they put into the crowd.
Yeah,
that feels what the shot was.
Look at all our extras.
Look at all these people we have. Exactly.
Which I mentioned Orson Welles. They actually tried to get Orson Welles to be in these, and he wouldn't do it. He didn't want to be in the makeup.
Okay.
I'm glad he didn't decide to do it because this.
Well, we know the man would do anything to make money for his
point,
films. Yeah. He was at that point in his career, but it would have been interesting to have Orson Welles in this. Anyway.
So at the 38,
he would have to be an orangutan. Right?
At the 38-second mark of this moment, they're kind of walking down a little bit of a hill to get there.
The most awkward walk down a hill shot where they make it.
It was a very unusual shot of him walking down. And then again, I mentioned before, like 10 seconds early, he had grabbed her arm. In this particular one, they hear a noise. He grabs her waist and pulls her to the left.
Hey, Richard, I have something to tell you. Yeah. She's hot.
He wants that hands on a hard body.
I'm sorry. When I'm running from a gorilla in the woods, and if I'm with a hot woman, I grab her waist and it's every hand. I'm just going to be very honest.
It's just very aggressive male moving a woman around kind of thing.
So here's what's wrong with this moment, too.
The fact that this guard would just happen to be walking where they're hiding?
Not only that, it breaks every rule of cinematic storytelling. The cinematic storytelling is...
We need
a threat before they react.
That's true. They react first, right?
They react, and it's like, what are they looking at? And then they run off.
Yeah.
We need to see that guard patrolling one time.
Right.
Something.
All you had to do was put a cut shot, and we would know if you put a gorilla foot that has that little, separation between the toe and the rest of it, and we saw it stepping on a twig,
branch,
snap, and they look. Now there's a threat. There's no threat. They look off at a bird.
Yeah.
Well, so this probably could have been the result of editing. We have the moment where they look right. He grabs her waist to pull her to the left. They kind of flurry off to the left. And then we get the actual soldier,
right,
whose foot,
and I thought the same thing,
whose boots are moving, and he's got the club, and you're like, that actually should have happened
before.
First.
Yes,
that was my problem with it.
You're right, yeah.
It should. Anytime you want to introduce the threat, you have to show the threat to know it's a threat, and there was none.
I mean, I thought the movement of the boots and the club was actually kind of effective.
Oh, I think it's a great shot.
But you're right; it should have happened before they actually result. And then we get like this weird moment where we actually linger on Gorilla Soldier, just kind of
hanging out,
looking around. Like it's a very intentional. Like we spent a lot of time on this makeup. You need to look at it.
You almost need to see him with a cigarette, just like, okay, trying to get back to work, putting it out.
That would have been funny, actually. But, the one thing that I think is interesting, we have an ape with a handgun this time.
Yeah, I was saying, is this our first? I had that in my notes. Is this our first handgun that we've seen?
It's the first handgun I remember.
And why is it wrapped completely in leather?
Because we need to sell more toys.
Yeah.
It's actually wood.
Oh, is that really wood? Okay.
All of their weapons are wrapped in woods, and they were actual. The original one was a World War II carbine weapon that they put wood stock around, and this one, I found what weapon it was, and I don't remember what it was now, but it was kind of the same era, and they would just put wood around it to make it look more crude.
Gotcha.
Speaking of
it's
problems with a particular
piece of wood that shoots bullets.
Yeah.
The Gorilla Soldier and Brent and Nova are largely shot in wides, so we can see movement, but they're never in the same shots.
No.
So for a certain extent, when we see Brent and Nova kind of climbing over a fallen tree, there's no sense of urgency. Like, I have no idea what they're running from. I know there's a Gorilla Soldier somewhere, but I have no idea where he's
how
at.
Close he is. Yeah.
I have no, usually you would see...
It doesn't even...
They would have been crouched down at you to see him move in front of them, or something, just to
or at
give
least
them
a
sense.
cross cut between they crouch and he's looking over shrubs. So it implies that he's looking in their direction.
Yeah, because besides the fact he's going the direction that they're going and going quickly, did they establish that he actually is chasing them?
No,
not at this point. No, not at all.
I mean,
not at all.
Yeah.
It's basic. I'm telling you, this all boils down to that Brent wanted to touch her hips. That's what it's all about.
Well, touch her hips and then grab her hand, because now he's leading her by the hand when he runs. I mean, at this point, he's actually grabbed her hand and is leading her over the fallen tree, holding her hand the entire time. And I was questioning at this moment, like, is he saving her? Does he not want her to run off? I mean, the way that it's shot, it's such a very kind of man leading a woman. But there's a sense in which he might actually be afraid of losing her in this moment, and he needs her.
Do you know how bad this moment is? I'm going to tell you how bad this moment is.
How bad is this moment?
How bad is
I
it?
just wondered, I wonder if the Tim Burton film actually has moments like this. And I went, oh no, eek!
Stop.
I thought of and wanted to watch it. I don't ever want that to happen again. You both have to save me from that fate.
They should have edited it like this,
Well,
where
it's on our docket at some
I
point.
know.
We'll be watching it.
where Brent and Nova are running towards the right, and you see them, panic music, and you just see the guard walking towards the city, crosses a river. They keep cutting back and forth. He's like actually going and cheering with the other people, and they're
Right.
still racing off trying to hide.
It even doesn't work for the gorilla because the gorilla's never given anything that catches his eye.
yeah.
I don't even know why he pulls the gun.
Yeah.
Like he does. He pulls the gun out, and
For
you're like,
no reason.
well, what made you suspect? Was there a sound?
Yeah.
You could even, if you really want to construct the scene properly, he's almost the beginning of this scene where he's with binoculars or something looking and he sees something duck
sees
away.
bushes moving.
And he gets down. At that point, we see them. He's chasing. That's how you construct that scene. There's
She's a flash of white from the uniform behind
Yeah.
the bush.
So, according to the script says, as he strolls down, the ovation dies away to total silence. Suddenly, a twig loudly snaps from a spot already passed by the patrolman. He stops short and looks back. So they put that in the script.
They
have
wrote
it
it
there.
correctly.
Right.
They shot it correctly because it could have. It's the editing is assembled incorrectly when you talk about threat reaction.
Pausing for routine check, he scans the landscape with great care. Patrolman's foot approach.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Now, the next part of the script actually kind of unfolds. So he pulls this gun that is made of wood. He ventures back down. We see them again running.
It's made of wood. They just run up to each other and go bang, bang.
We see them again running again. They're never in the same shot. I mean, I have no sense of what they're running from, where they're running to, where they're going from.
It's no country for old apes.
They're not in the they're not in the same shot. They're not juxtaposed against one another. I would even venture, and I didn't look at this. I wonder if their screen direction where they're looking for the threat and where he's looking for what he's pursuing is correct.
I
I have a
remember.
feeling it may not be.
I just realized we're started the next minute, which
Oh, well.
We're right on that precipice of it.
Okay.
and I think we're fine.
okay. Well, no, I was going to talk about specifically what
okay.
what the next what starts at 22,
Bite your tongue.
because it kind of answers a little bit of this, I suppose.
All right, so then I'm going to say that is our segue to say that we're at the end
Yeah.
of minute 22.
I
Is
think
that
so.
correct?
I believe so. I don't have
All
anything
right.
else.
So what I'm going to say today is everyone go out there and look for us, on Twitter, Minute of the Apes, at Minute of the Apes. You can find us. We put things out there. We're trying to not only give you what we're doing, but we're giving Planet of the Apes pop culture. I try to go out there and find these things so you can find it. We want to be that resource that at least helps you quite a bit with that. So find us, follow us on Twitter. It's the best way to know when we're also publishing different pieces of content at any time. So that's the end of my preaching, my begging for the day. I'm Todd, Richard, and Sean. That's it, boys.
Adios.
Good night, everybody.
Beneath the Minute of the Apes. Beneath the Minute of the Apes. Beneath the Minute of the